Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vijanavalabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jai Radha, Shama Sundaradha, Shama Sundaradhi. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Śrīla Prabhupāda. Nitai go Haribo, 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 Nitai go Haribo. Go Premanandir. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astottara Sata Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanandir. Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nastapraeshu Abhadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 71. The Lord travels to Indraprastha. Text 37. Acha. That's 37? That doesn't say 37 here. That's 38. Oh, no. Oh, there you are. Thank you. Trying to fool everybody, huh? Atapura janai pritya Mukunda pulalochanai Sasam brahmayar abhupeta Pravishidad raja mandiram Atapura janai pritya Mukunda pulalochanai Sasam brahmayar abhupetya Pravishad raja mandiram Others? Kunda pulalochanai Mataji's? Antapura of the imperial precinct. Janai, by the people. Pritya, lovingly. Mukunda, Lord Kṛṣṇa. Pula, blossoming. Lochanai, whose eyes. Sambramai, in a flurry. Abhupetya, approached with greetings. Pravishat, he entered. Raja, royal. Mandiram, the palace. With wide open eyes, the members of the royal household came forward in a flurry to lovingly greet Lord Mukunda. Thus the Lord entered the royal palace. Repeat. With wide open eyes, the members of the royal household came forward in a flurry to lovingly greet Lord Mukunda. And thus, the Lord entered the royal palace. Pritavilokya Bhratreyam Krishnam Tribhuvaneshwaram Pritatmohaya Paryankat Sasnusha Parishasvare Vajay. When Queen Pritha saw her nephew Kṛṣṇa, the master of the three worlds, her heart became filled with love. Rising from her couch with her daughter-in-law, she embraced the Lord. Queen Kunti's daughter-in-law is the famous Draupadī. Govindam griham aniya Deva devesha madritaha Pujayang navidat krityang Pramodopa hato nripaha. King Yudhishthira respectfully brought Lord Govinda, the supreme God of gods, to his personal quarters. The king was so overcome with joy that he could not remember all the rituals of worship. Śrīla Prabhupāda writes, as he brought Kṛṣṇa within the palace, King Yudhishthira became so confused in his jubilation that he practically forgot what he was supposed to do at that time in order to receive Kṛṣṇa and worship him properly. Pitṛ-svasur guru-strīṇāṁ Kṛṣṇaś cakre bhivādanam svayaṁ kṛṣṇayā rājan bhaginyā cābhivanditaḥ. Lord Kṛṣṇa bowed down to his aunt and the wives of his elders, O king, and then Draupadī and the Lord's sister bowed down to him. Śrīla Prabhupāda writes, Lord Kṛṣṇa delightfully offered his respectful obeisances to Kuntī and other elderly ladies of the palace. His younger sister, Subhadrā, was also standing there with Draupadī, and both offered their respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Svashriva sanchodita Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa patnischa sarvashah Anarcha rukmining satyang Bhadrang jambavating tata Kalinding mitra vindangcha Shaibhyam naganajating sating Anyascha chab yagatayastu Vasasran mandadadebihi. Encouraged by her mother-in-law, Draupadī worshipped all of Lord Kṛṣṇa's wives, including Rukmini, Satyabhama, Bhadra, Jambavati, Kalindi, Mitravinda, the descendant of Shibi, the chaste Nagnajiti, and the other queens of the Lord who were present. Draupadī honored them all with such gifts as clothing, flower garlands, and jewelry. Sukhang nivasayamasa Dharmarajo janardanam Sasainyang sanugamatyang Sabaryang cha nivang navam. King Yudhishthira arranged for Krishna's rest and saw to it that all who came along with him, namely his queens, soldiers, ministers, and secretaries, were comfortably situated. He arranged that they would experience a new feature of reception every day while staying as guests of the Pandavas. This translation is taken from Śrīla Prabhupāda's Kṛṣṇa. Tarpayatva kandavena Vaning palguna sangyudaha Mochayatva mayangena Rajge divya sabhakrita Uvasa katichin masan Ragya priya chakirshaya Viharan ratam aruya Falgunena bhatarvritaha. Desiring to please King Yudhishthira, the Lord resided at Indraprastha for several months. During his stay, he and Arjuna satisfied the fire god by offering him the Kandava forest, and they saved Maya Danava, who then built King Yudhishthira a celestial assembly hall. The Lord also took the opportunity to go riding in his chariot in the company of Arjuna, surrounded by a retinue of soldiers. Śrīla Prabhupāda writes in Kṛṣṇa, it was during this time that Lord Sri Krishna, with the help of Arjuna, for the satisfaction of the fire god Agni, allowed Agni to devour the Kandava forest. During the forest fire, Krishna saved the demon Mayasura, who was hiding in the forest. Upon being saved, Mayasura felt obliged to the Pandavas and Lord Krishna, and he constructed a wonderful assembly house within the city of Hastinapur. In this way, Lord Krishna, in order to please King Yudhishthira, remained in the city of Hastinapur for several months. During his stay, he enjoyed strolling here and there. He used to drive on chariots along with Arjuna, and many warriors and soldiers used to follow them. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 71st chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Lord Travels to Indraprastha. Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the amazing pastimes of Lord Krishna. Actually, all the Vedas and Puranas, they describe the activities of the Pandavas and their relationship with Krishna. And the purpose of that the loving exchanges being described in the Vedic literature is an impetus for us to again awaken our understanding that Kṛṣṇa is our only protector, Kṛṣṇa is our only shelter, and that when we think that we can live in this world by our own strength, our own education, and ability to manipulate the material energy, just like Ravana described that, he said, why worship God to go to heaven? I'll build you a stairway to heaven. Even a rock and roll band made a good song, Stairway to Heaven, very famous. And everyone is thinking like that, you know, I'm wealthy, I'm powerful, I'm intelligent. Why do I need to take shelter? Let the poor people go to church and temple and pray. And this is the deluding potency of Maya, the illusion. But when we hear from the pure devotees, when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Purana, Bhagavad Gita, everyone wants to take the books of God, which have been around for thousands and thousands of years, beautiful philosophy, logic, reason, but they want to manipulate the teachings of Bhagavad Gita to suit their own purposes, as if I'm a president of the country, or I'm a big philosopher, I'm a scholar. I can twist out some very esoteric meaning from these books. And I'm sure I'll sell a lot of books and make good money. But this is not the purpose for Bhagavat, that we're going to speak to make money or to change the philosophy. And that's the beauty of how Śrīla Prabhupāda brought us the authentic literatures of the Vedas. We were hearing yesterday, or 2 days back, how Vyasadeva, despite the fact that he's an incarnation of the Lord, he's produced so many wonderful literatures, Mahabharata, Bhagavat, you know, the different itihasas and Puranas. But Narada Muni instructed him, no, you need a book which is the essence of all the scriptural teachings, the essence of the Vedas, specifically glorifying Kṛṣṇa, specifically glorifying the Supreme Lord, and also our relationship with Kṛṣṇa. How to achieve that? Instead of being lost this way and that way, vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha kurunandana bahushaka hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayanam. Devotee is resolute in his purpose because he's realized that I have no shelter here. I'm going to get old, diseased, and die. I could have the best loving parents, the best medical treatment available that money can buy. They could fly me on my personal jet to the special hospital. But still, Mare Kṛṣṇa Rake Ke, Rake Kṛṣṇa Mare Ke. If Kṛṣṇa wants you, not that he wants you dead, but we're all going to die. Not really, but the body, when it's no longer functioning, like if you have an old car, an old vehicle, always breaking down, the engines needs repair and the exhaust doesn't work and tires are falling off. Okay, time for a new car, right? So the body is simply a vehicle, and this body is meant for the purpose of getting out of the entrapment of Maya, entrapment of illusion. And everybody is illusioned by the material energy to think that there's some happiness here, that there's some joy. But a person who's becoming or advancing in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, he becomes joyful. He becomes very optimistic. Although it seems as though devotees are pessimistic and always negative, birth, old age, disease and death, can't take intoxicants, can't have sex, can't have, you can't have the philosophical speculations. But this medicine of Hari Katha, of Kṛṣṇa Katha, was spoken by Prahlād Maharaj. I think also in the class Prabhupada was giving yesterday, was speaking about Prahlad Maharaj. And that very morning, I heard Prabhupada say, oh, today's the appearance day of Lord Nrsimhadev. And he was describing Prahlad Maharaj. He said, and he was being tortured so much, even by his father, a 5-year-old boy. Why should a father object if the boy is chanting? You know, a little boy, leave him alone. And Prabhupada was very affected and emotional that the devotees are being persecuted or suffering. He had a great feeling for Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj. Of course, the pure devotee loves everyone, but he was seeing how, despite the torture of the demons, even his own father, and how Kṛṣṇa personally came to give protection and reveal himself. So Kṛṣṇa was asked, I think by Narada Muni, yes, Narada Muni came and said that Yudhishthira Maharaj is performing the Rajasuya sacrifice, so he really wants your presence. Like sometimes during different seasons we get all these invitations for temple opening or, you know, come and please attend. Because whenever we have a special function, we want everyone to gather together and honor the occasion. So Kṛṣṇa, he wasn't about to get away without bringing all his wives. So pack up 16,000 queens and all their assistants and all the paraphernalia and the soldiers. Could you imagine thousands and thousands and thousands traveling such a distance? It must have been very grand, all the different places that they visited. Although in our mind or our intellect, common reasoning, we may think that how is that possible? You know, how can you bring tens of thousands of people across thousands of miles? But Kṛṣṇa has unlimited power, despite the fact that Kṛṣṇa lifted Govardhan Hill and killed so many demons and performed wonderful activities. And everyone was mesmerized by the beauty of Kṛṣṇa and Balaram when they went to Mathura. Oh, they went mad to see Kṛṣṇa's beauty and Balaram. And now from Dwaraka, they're coming to Indraprastha, Hastinapur. So everyone was excited. They all came running out to see the Lord. Hardly anyone understood that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I figured he's such a beautiful, wonderful, great personality. They were mesmerized. But Queen Kuntī and the Pandavas, even though Queen Kuntī was the sister of Kṛṣṇa's father and Queen Kuntī, she prayed to Kṛṣṇa, especially after the Battle of Kurukshetra, when Kṛṣṇa was staying for some time just to please Yudhishthira and please the Pandavas. He stayed for some time. This is before the Kurukshetra war. So you can imagine Kṛṣṇa, he's not obligated. Kṛṣṇa's kind and protects everyone. Kṛṣṇa's protecting everyone. But it's described that like a king, although he protects all the citizens, his own sons and his intimate family or intimate associates, he gives special care. So Kṛṣṇa's not partial. He loves everyone. Yeyata mang prapadyate tangs tataiva bhajamyaham. As we surrender to Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa's reciprocating. Kṛṣṇa's personal. He's not just some statue or some old, very old personality from time immemorial. He's God, he must be very old. No, he's Navayovana. He's ever youthful, very, very beautiful, very powerful. So Kṛṣṇa's attracting by his unlimited, his wonderful pastimes, but not everyone can fully appreciate. This is how Maya sets in. Oh, that's just some, Hindu mythology. Kṛṣṇa is a Hindu god. They have no. How you can say this? It's a Hindu sun. A Hindu moon. Yeah, it's American sun. No, it's not. It doesn't belong to America. It's not like that. And they think that Christianity, they're in America, but where was Christianity? It was in the Middle East, wasn't it? In Jerusalem. And they say also Lord Jesus spent time in India, Jagannath Puri. But just for the sake of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Everyone feels that we have to have some religion, follow some process. So there are many books of religion, but all religion is one, and that God is the Father of everyone. There may be different techniques and different rituals which are according to custom, according to your heritage and your religious practices. So everyone has to have some sort of, ceremonies and prayers. But what is the objective of religion? That we please God by our activities. That religion means the law of God. And the law of God is the same for everyone. In India, we keep to the left sometimes. Sometimes they keep to the right too, that you're not sure what they're going to do. But generally the law is keep to the left. England also, right? But in America they keep to the right. They always have to do something different, But we can't change the law. We can't just create our own religious practices and maybe, well, I like this part, but I don't like that part. They say like the hen is producing eggs. Oh, I like the egg, but I don't want to keep feeding the dumb hen. Cut the head off. Forget about it. Just get the egg. You cut the head off, there's no more egg. So if we think that we can adjust religious practices to suit our own purposes, that's not going to be satisfying. Kṛṣṇa, he wants us to come back home, back to the spiritual world, and somehow or other we are the rebellious sons and daughters, but we're all prakriti. We're all actually, it doesn't matter whether one is in a man's or female body or even animal body. The spirit soul is jivera swarup hoy Kṛṣṇa nitya das, satchidananda. We're eternal, full of bliss, full of knowledge. We have that Kṛṣṇa prem dormant within the heart of every living being. You may think, oh, how can this dog or how can this donkey have a love of God? It's just a body. Today you've got one kind of covering, and in a few weeks we're not going to have any kind of covering. It's going to get warmer, and sometimes in the deep cold you're really, really covered over. So there are different coverings according to our desires. We have different bodies. Krishna is giving us a big variety to choose from. I mean, if you go into an ice cream shop and they have many, many flavors, you become ecstatic. You think, wow, you can have, this and combinations of different kind of tastes are there. Rasa. Everyone who's doing work in this world, they're getting some kind of rasa, whether it's the money or they're really enjoying their profession. Most people in the material world don't like work. It's like a nasty four-letter word, W-O-R-K, work. They want to retire. They want to make money fast. Let's do some internet schemes. And there's all kinds of cheating going on all over the world in the attempt to become happy by artha, money. Then, if we have money, kama, sense gratification, then we can really enjoy. I can build a beautiful house in Beverly Hills, California. And then the fire, they protected Mayasura, and they gave the fire god a chance to devour the Khandava forest. There's the whole Leela behind that. But you see how fire, devastating, is raging throughout, 2-3 weeks now, just burning, and everyone is homeless and totally burnt out with material nature. The fire burnt out their homes, their riches, and they were like living a high life because Hollywood, imagine being, this is okay, I've made it. I've worked my whole life and I've got a beautiful home, a wonderful family, a big bank balance. And in an instant, it all can be taken away. So that's waiting for all of us. Death is at the doorstep of everyone. It's padang yavipadang natesham. At every step there's danger. I remember Bhuvaneshwar Prabhu slipped on something and broke his upper thigh, and for months and months he was laid up. And it's miserable. But if the machine's not working and it starts falling apart, we should know that whatever time and energy I have, I should utilize for the purpose of awakening my love for Krishna. And what is the best process? Even Hiranyakashipu was curious to know, because at first he thought, how is it this Prahlad is speaking about Vishnu and devotional service? So he chastised the teachers, Amarka and... Huh? Yes, those. And they said, no, we're not at fault. No, nobody. He naturally is Krishna conscious. And so when Hiranyakashipu said, well, if your teachers haven't, who taught you this? Where did you get this knowledge from? And but he initially said, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanavedanam. The processes of hearing, chanting, remembering. But actually Narada Muni, again, was the culprit, that he took care of the mother of Prahlad Maharaj, and he was very compassionately preaching to the mother, but also thinking that Prahlad in the womb is also hearing. So it's not just a gross physical, the spiritual transmission is very subtle. And even though we may not fully understand, it said even you may not know the language, the spiritual vibration of glorifying Krishna and sitting, the austerities of sitting in the Srimad Bhagavatam class and Bhagavad Gita, to have to, get up early in the morning and come and see the Lord beautifully dressed, sing and dance. People think, what, you people are crazy, how you can get up at 3 o'clock in the morning or be singing and dancing at 4 o'clock in the morning. It must be brainwashing. Yes, we are washing the brain because we have so many dirty ideas of how to become happy in this world. Work really hard. I'm too busy now. I have my family, I have my responsibilities. But even though you may logically, reasonably show that this life is temporary, but you're eternal. But this Daivi Hesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Dharatyaya, this divine energy of Krishna is very difficult to overcome. But if we surrender to Krishna, what does it mean, surrender to Krishna? That means, when you surrender to the doctor, that means, okay, I'll stop my nonsense, I'll take the medicine, and I'll very strictly adhere. Depending on the severity of our disease, if you're mildly sick, then you might not, medicine, okay, not so important. But if you're on the verge of death, and nothing is working, and you're great agony and pain, and I want to make a life-changing decision. I need to change my lifestyle. I need to change the way I think and the way I live and how I associate. Because the people we associate with is the biggest impact in our life. Asat Sangha Tyag Avaishnavachar. One who wants to follow devotional practice and understand Krishna and Krishna's beauty and the wonderful activities that Krishna is performing, and have the shelter and protection of Krishna, then we need to associate with the Vaishnavas, with the devotees. And a Vaishnava is, when you see him, he reminds you of Krishna. Tilak, got the neck beads, and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Such a simple and beautiful formula. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. We hear about Krishna, we hear about the glories of devotional service, we hear about the spiritual world, that if I simply keep hearing about Krishna, if I don't understand anything, just see the beauty of the deities. Who will think that how beautiful the deities are dressed every day? Prabhupada said dress them once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5 times. Not only something beautiful, extraordinarily beautiful. And by thinking about how to serve the deities, how to cook a nice preparation, not thinking that, I'm going to cook something nice so that we can all enjoy, but this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness, that by serving Krishna, Krishna's taking care, he's reciprocating. I don't know how many religions have as many festivals as we do. I don't think it's possible. I mean, the amount of sangha and chanting and dancing. Whenever they hear Kirtan Mela, okay, or Prasad, there's going to be a feast today. So, okay. You go to Kṛṣṇa Hall in the breakfast time, you see thousands lined up. But just see the miseries of life are hunger, thirst, and it's like we may not feel that, but just by the recent war that was going on in Gaza, there was no supplies coming. There was no food. There was no water. And here you are, imagine being on a battlefield, how thirsty you must be. The sun is beating, and you're there killing people, and they're killing you, and you're really exerting a lot of energy, and you're thirsty. And imagine several days, no food, hungry. We think, Ekadasi fasting, you get a little nervous about these kind of things, a little bit of austerity. So the misery of old age, the whips, they call them material whips, they immediately are dissolved in the association of devotees and shelter of the Kṛṣṇa Katha, hearing about Kṛṣṇa. So we need to mold our lives, make a plan, how I can hear more about Kṛṣṇa. Look at our day, look at our schedule, that first of all, Mangal Arti. It's important. The spiritual world is, wherever there's a temple, it's a spiritual world. But one of the principles, all of you are fortunate because we're sitting in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Krishna's everywhere. He's in every atom. But his abode is a special place. And hearing Krishna's name and pastimes in Vrindavan, there's tremendously more, it's like a booster shot. It's much more potency there. But if we don't take advantage of the opportunity and we're regularly missing the program, and what to speak of worshiping the pure devotee, because unless Krishna is saying, one who claims to be my, Partha, telling Arjuna, one who claims to be my devotee, he's not my devotee. But one who claims to be a devotee of my devotee, then he's my devotee. So we're das, anudas. We want to become a servant. By serving the Vaishnavas, especially in the Dham, there's great benefit. And Kṛṣṇa, he notices, Srimati Radharani notices, this devotee is serving nicely. And like sometimes people want to put a good word into the, maybe the chief minister or the president or what to speak of God. So God's servants, if they notice that someone is serving nicely, they tell Kṛṣṇa, this person is doing very nicely. And Kṛṣṇa, he's very personable. He appreciates very much any service. He said, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakti pranashyati. My devotees will never perish. So the body is temporary, but you can spiritualize the body by engaging it in Krishna's service and by serving the pure devotee. So from Sangsara Dava Nalalita Loka Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam, we're offering our obeisances to our spiritual master. There are many spiritual masters, but Śrīla Prabhupāda is the Acharya that brought us the Vedic literatures. He's delivering Kṛṣṇa. He's delivering Kṛṣṇa to us. No one else was doing that. All the people who've read Bhagavad Gita over the thousands of years, no one surrendered to Kṛṣṇa. And every person was more or less focusing on himself. Prabhupada never said International Society for Prabhupada Consciousness. He was very, very humble and very much focused that we are glorifying Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so if we can attentively appreciate the beauty of together singing and dancing before the deities and offering the Guru Puja, and although sometimes, class might be boring, we still sit and hear the same things. We're not the material body, we're eternal spirit soul. Kṛṣṇa's wonderful and great, and we're very tiny servants, and we're meant to use our energy to awaken our love for Kṛṣṇa. The mind is restless, and the senses are restless. And we're always making plans. Even right now, maybe you're thinking, what am I going to have for breakfast? I have to figure that one out because, we fasted yesterday, so maybe we're not thinking about Kṛṣṇa and Yudhishthira Maharaj and how Draupadi is honoring all the queens, especially the prominent queens. And this is a very personable description of the enthusiasm of the inhabitants of Indraprastha, Hastinapur, how excited they were, running with wide open eyes. It's like kind of graphically giving the indication that they were so eager and enthusiastic to see Kṛṣṇa that they didn't want, what to speak of the gopis, if they blink, they criticize the Creator. How you can make me blink? I didn't see you for just... But that kind of love, we shouldn't try to imitate from sadhana bhakti and jump to raganuga bhakti and start rolling around and hair standing on end and feeling that now I'm on the spontaneous loving platform. As maturity settles in and we perform our devotional service, Kṛṣṇa, He'll help us. Just like Kṛṣṇa is like the sunshine. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was like the grandfather of Kṛṣṇa, and he said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're just a young sannyasi, very difficult to follow the renounced order without hearing the Vedanta Sutra. So for days on end, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat quietly while Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave him his lessons on Vedanta Sutra. And he questioned Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're sitting, but you're not asking any questions. Are you not understanding? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, I understand clearly. The texts are like bright sunshine. But when the clouds come, it covers the sunshine. And your explanations are all cloudy. And that's the problem. People are clouding the brilliance and transparency of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. But when conveyed by the pure devotee, clouds are dissipated, and the bright sunshine, the true knowledge of Kṛṣṇa consciousness enters the heart. It's said by hearing the Bhagavad Gita from a pure devotee, we're hearing from Prabhupada, it enters the heart. And by entering the heart, it gives us the motivation and the determination necessary to advance further in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Because if we take it in a very lackadaisical, easygoing way, then that's the end result. It won't be anything significant. But if we make an endeavor for Kṛṣṇa consciousness, then Kṛṣṇa will get rid of all the challenges and obstacles and help clear the path of going back home, back to Kṛṣṇa Loka. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As long as we chant the holy name a few times in class, it's always a good thing. So we have a few minutes. Maharaj, don't make it hard, okay? Microphone. But this is the process, Dadati Pratigranati, hearing and chanting, revealing one's heart.
Hare Krishna, thank you. You're talking about the heart of the devotee. And I was reading this morning, it says that the heart of a devotee is so pure in which Kṛṣṇa can see himself.
Sure.
And the best devotee whose heart is so pure that Kṛṣṇa sees himself, the reflection. The topmost devotee is Śrīmati Radharani. Just to go along. Because the heart needs to be cleansed. And when it becomes purified, it becomes like a mirror. Kṛṣṇa can see himself.
Cheto darpan marjanam.
And Vrindavan, and in Vrindavan, we should see our heart also where it's at. It is a mirror that we can see ourselves as well, how much more we need to purify ourselves. Hare Krishna.
Jai, cleansing the heart. Yes, Mata?
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the very nice class. Like you said, like old age, disease, death, it's sure to come. So whatever little time we have, we should engage in devotional service from a Mangalarti, like Draupadī's Gauda. So if my family, my father is like an aspiring devotee, but he's surrounded by very non-devotees and very not so. And I mean, I cannot change the situation. I'm not the controller, but I've tried my best to serve them. But I'm breaking down. So, I mean, should I just surrender completely and take to the process? Because I have full faith in Śrīla Prabhupāda and in Radha Shyam Sundar Krishna Param. So it's better if I just completely chant, read, be here, serve devotees.
Yes. Yeah, you're not alone. Many of us who have children, we want our children to be Kṛṣṇa conscious. We want our parents to be Kṛṣṇa conscious. And sometimes we make an endeavor. It's not so easy because everyone has their destiny, But by your becoming a devotee and wholeheartedly surrendering to Kṛṣṇa, so many generations, they're all benefited. They're all protected by Kṛṣṇa. So all we can do is set an example of ourselves being enthusiastic. Although we may at times be criticized that, why you're leaving, your family situation or society, you're becoming a parasite, you're just wasting your time in religious ceremonies. They're blind, they have no idea. But by your chanting nicely and performing your devotional service, that'll help liberate your father, it'll help liberate the whole family. And of course, emotionally, you may feel distraught or sad that maybe, they're in bad association. That is the thing that we want to avoid. We want to always keep good association ourselves. Everyone has to fly their own airplane, isn't it? And we have to ourselves have that resolute determination that despite the fact that maybe my family members or my community or others are dazzled by Maya and prefer to be in the clutches of Maya, looking for happiness, looking for water in the desert, there's no happiness in this world. Doesn't matter what they do or how they twist things around. They think that let me build a big factory, can produce nuts and bolts, but there's no real food, no essence. So Krishna's consciousness is giving us the real life, and the more you can advance in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the happier you'll be, and you're also serving not only your family, but you're serving everyone, because you're putting the water on the root of the tree, which is nourishing all the leaves and twigs. You're putting food in the stomach, which nourishes the entire body, isn't it? So that we'll be okay like that. Okay, one more question? Or two more questions. Mata first, go ahead, it's back there, then Prabhu, okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Very nice lecture. Prabhuji,
we lecture that this is a temporary world. We all are temporary, situations are temporary. Then in the temporary situation, how can we give pause at that time? Pause. Means I always react on the situation, and then later on I think I'm in a thought that I should not react on that time. So how to give pause at a particular moment?
I didn't catch you.
Pause. How to let go the situation.
How?
Let go the situation.
Huh?
Let go.
Oh. Well, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. The difficulties are there. They may be, someone might think, well, my difficulties are extreme, where I can't, let go. I have too much attachment or too much feeling, compassion. But the real compassion is by you becoming Krishna conscious. You have to somehow or other, and that somehow or other is stay in the association of devotees, chant Krishna's holy name, and hear about Krishna more and more. And Krishna will reveal to you. He'll give you intelligence. What is that? Vedaischa sarvara aham sarvasya chahang hridi sanavishto matat smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna's in your heart. He's in everyone's heart. It's like he's sitting right there next to you. He heard your question. So if you really want an answer, Krishna will give you the intelligence of how. I got off the hook. You see, Krishna's going to give the answer to her. Now, Krishna will reveal to you. He will. You have the faith. We need this strong faith. So, Prabhuji, sorry. Thank you.
Thanks for the wonderful answer, Prabhuji. My question is like, my heart is so dirty, Prabhuji, like filled with all sort of negativities. And Cheto Darpan Majan, when we chant, it should clean up. I don't know when it's going to clean up and when the negativity keeps coming up and how much time it will take, like, just I want to know.
Well, Prabhupada said, within a second, are you reading Bhagavad Gita? Sarva dharma parityaja mamekang sharanang vraja hang tvang sarvapapivya mokshe shami masacha. Because we're still holding on. It's like when Draupadi they were trying to disrobe Draupadi, and she was fearful. She was, trying to hold on. But when she realized that I have no power to save myself, and she surrendered to Krishna, Krishna provided everything. So we need to increase our faith that Krishna will give us guidance and protection, and then the heart will change our ideas of what is real happiness. We'll have the conviction. It will solidify our feeling of feeling that Krishna's protecting me at every moment. That's one of the principles of surrender. Krishna's guiding me, protecting me, and the holy name is cleansing my heart. But it also depends on our intense desire, lolyam. We need an intense desire to become Krishna conscious. Then the cleansing process is more vigorous. Like if you have a really dirty pot, if you're just like, with a little sponge, but if you get that bristled thing and you really put your elbow into it, then all the dirt starts going up. So we need to put some energy behind our pursuit of Krishna consciousness. And yeyatamang prapajate tangs. But it's not just physical, it's a spiritual connection, but also our intention and our desire that I want to have the association of the devotees, and I want to end this miserable material life and go back home, back to Krishna with Prabhupada. So thank you very much. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki.